Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is your boy Chosen and welcome back to another discussion video. So in Tuesday's video, I've already informed you guys that I wanted to split up an idea I had into two parts. That being how different the shinobi world would be if Naruto or Sasuke were to die. Tuesday we already covered Naruto's death, so if you're interested in checking that out, a link should be in the description. As for today, we're going to be covering the same idea except with Sasuke dying. Okay, so with the events that took place in chapter 53, it can be hard not to imagine at least one of these two legendary characters being written off. And I've mentioned this many times in some of my videos, but there is definitely a route Kishimoto can take to keep these two alive that would make sense. But given the off chance that he decides to take out Sasuke, the question I want to get around to answering today is what would a Sasuke-less shinobi world look like? So with us being this far into the story, I'm probably stating the obvious here, but for those who may be new readers, there have been small hints here and there, of course, that could foreshadow Sasuke's possible death. Those examples are the timeskip preview with Kawaki and Boruto, where Boruto was seen holding Sasuke's cape, sword, and headband, that he told Boruto was extremely precious to him. We also have the scar down his eye that a lot of people, including myself, assumed was given to him by his master, based off of when Sasuke claimed in Boruto chapter 49 that if Momoshiki were to come out, he would kill him, and boy oh boy, did Momoshiki bring out one hell of an entrance. Anyways, if the time skip really is what we see and Boruto is actually the one who's the hero and Kawaki the villain, then for him to possess half of Sasuke's wardrobe, that has to imply something seriously happened to him. Rather, Boruto is just a greedy little bastard and is just asking for everything before battle in the future, or us longtime Naruto fans gotta accept the fact that our Sasuke may actually be dead. There is another hint, of course, but for this one, I don't want to emphasize on it too much as it is just an ending, but in ending 14, after Boruto was done jollying around with the paint, a path opens up and we see Boruto looking at Sasuke. As he's running to him, we see Sasuke start to fade away. That could be a complete foreshadow of what's to come, or they're just being trolls and throwing us off. It's gotta be one of the two. And I mean, the anime still has a lot to adapt until we get to this isshiki battle, so I'm sure there could be more hints if this is the direction they plan to go for Sasuke. But as of now, these are the major ideas we got. So if Boruto kills Sasuke in chapter 54, what happens from then on? Well, to start off, just like in the Naruto video, I do think there's a good chance Boruto could go rogue. Cause father or sensei, he cares for them both, even if one is more prioritized than the other. His reasoning for leaving could be the fear of hurting more people. Boruto already mentioned this as well in chapter 49, explaining to Sasuke that his biggest fear is hurting others while not being in control of his own body, as he can still kind of tell what's going on while Momoshiki is taking over. Kind of like Jigen and Isshiki. When after the Naruto and Sasuke vs Jigen battle, Jigen began to cry. Whether it was from pain or mentally just not being able to bear watching him hurt people he doesn't want to. I mean, it sucks. After this battle takes place, I doubt the world hearing of Sasuke's death is going to be nearly as impactful as Naruto's. Like I mentioned in Tuesday's video, Naruto with Taka no Jutsu was already doing one of his pre-Kage assignments by creating special bonds with people who've experienced similar kinds of pain to him and changing their ideologies to match his, so they could spread his words and stand by his side as if it were the gospel. I mean, Sasuke and Shippuden changed his vision of the world multiple times and nothing really came out of that positively for others, besides his and Naruto's character development. He played no part in the Five Nations Alliance and doesn't have nearly as big as a legacy to leave behind as Naruto. But that not at all implies that Sasuke losing his rinnegan and possibly dying wasn't a huge L for the Hidden Leaf Village in the same way as Naruto dying, because it is. Like most of you know, Sasuke Uchiha is known as the Shadow Hokage, a role played by a shinobi who watches over the leaf from the shadows. Example, Itachi Uchiha, the man who did all the dirty work for the future of the village. And that's essentially what Sasuke does. Let's look at this example that takes place between Sasuke and the leader of the Mujina bandits that affiliated with the underworld.
直接話がしたいと思っていた。裏社会で長く生きてるなら当然俺を知っているな。貴様らのような奴らに対してどこまでやる人間かってことも。
じゃあ、サスケ。
ボルトの手のひらの印について何を知ってる？
奴ら、そうだ、確かカナと名乗っていた。
I mean, Sasuke didn't do anything. He just asked a question and he submitted, implying Sasuke's done some shit that we probably don't want to know about. Whatever it takes to protect the shinobi world, things that he knows Naruto would never put himself up to, Sasuke will do. After all, he believes in Naruto's vision and wants to support him. We know Naruto isn't the one to go and kill without reason, but Sasuke is that guy, as he mentions again when he talks to Boruto. Like, this man deadass looked at his best friend's son, someone he's probably bonded with a few times, looked at this little dude straight in the eyes and told him he'd kill him, no hesitation. I know Boruto knew he was being deadass too, and not just with things regarding the underworld, but the strongest clan in the Narutoverse to date, the Itsuki. Sasuke going over to King Shiki and Momo was key in preparation for their comings, and even Sasuke hinting at a possible return of Urashiki after the Chunin exam arc, as we know he fled after fighting Gaara and Chojuro. Everything Sasuke has done in the shadows has been a major help to Naruto in his role as Kage. Now, I'm not gonna disregard Naruto's job. What he's doing and even done in the past completely changed the entire shinobi world, not just his village. At the same time though, what's the point of world peace if it ends up just getting completely sucked dry? Sasuke's journey as Shadow Hokage again is extremely important to the shinobi world. Him losing the rinnegan, which allowed him to track other beings or intimidate underworld leaders by just looking at them, definitely ruins that status a little bit. And that's even if Kishimoto allows him to live. If Sasuke dies, I sure as hell know the Anbu combined aren't enough to do the same amount of work that Sasuke did. And we know that in general, the Anbu are a lot different compared to what they were in the past with Sai in charge. If Sasuke dies, there's going to be nobody who can do his work as effectively. I mean, Sasuke is still powerful. I'm sure he can go show up and face multiple gang leaders and whoop their asses no problem. But the thing is, I highly doubt Boruto's story from here on out is going to go from time of peace to Kara, then time of peace until the end of the story. Something big is gonna come, whether it's another organization or more Sasuke clan members, who knows. With Sasuke losing the rinnegan and potentially dying, who's going to be able to uncover small bits and pieces of what's to come? Now, with Sasuke unable to track down high-level threats, everything is going to be unpredictable. I mean, let's look at Kara and how long they've been going on for. Sasuke had no idea who the hell these people were, and yet he's been traveling the world for years. Kara did a pretty impressive job with keeping themselves hidden. What's to say there isn't another clan or team that's instead dimensions away from plotting against the world? Who's gonna hear about that one until they show up and decide when they want themselves to be known? In conclusion, if Sasuke were to die, yes, this would majorly impact not just Konoha, but the shinobi world in a different way to Naruto's, but just as important, which is why I wanted to split the series into two parts. They both play such an important role in the ability for the world to keep developing, but in different ways. If one of them were to go, it'd be like taking one step back. Everyone can't rely on that person anymore, meaning it would now be for the next generation to step up. But anyways guys, that is going to do for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd very much appreciate a like. And for more Naruto and Boruto discussions, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching all the way until the end, and I'll catch you on the next one.